Yo, how's it going? Welcome to the video. And listen, I'm just going to say it straight away. I know a lot of you are going to not have pulls for Texas. A lot of you might miss out on Texas because you got a different 6-star. I know the pain. And I'm going to try and show you in this video every single way you can get Arknight and a random. If you find this helpful, please do drop us a like. It means a lot. Thank you for all the support recently. I appreciate it. Anyway, not going to waste people's time. Going straight into this. So, tomorrow, when the event drops, we will all get 5 Arknights in the mail. Straight away, pretty decent. What you use your Arknight on is up to you. You can use it on pulls or on skins. People generally say skins, but we're not going to get into that in this video. 5 Arknights in the mail, pretty decent. Also, tomorrow, when the event drops, we will all get a free 10 times pull. So, very, very good. Some people get very lucky with this and actually get the 6-star character they want just with this temple. There's no reason, it's just people get lucky. I wish I was that lucky. I literally never that lucky, but in general, free temple, very, very helpful. You want to make sure you're claiming that. Next up, we have the daily pull. So, for when the event actually releases, for 2 weeks, we will be able to get 1 pull every single day. So, if I pull tomorrow when the event starts, and I pull once with my free pull, I will have to wait until the next day for my next pull. For 2 weeks, pretty nice. It all adds up, including the temple as well. That's quite a few pulls for free already. Next up, we have this. This is like very, very niche. This isn't really too important. I just want to mention this. There's a limited time login. You can get 400 random within 7 days with this. It's not too important, but if you're really, really desperate, this can be helpful. It's mostly for the skin, this login, but just take that into account. Next up, we have Industrial Corporation Forum. I think it works kind of like past logins. Basically, you can get a random from this. You log in every day to do this. In general, you don't want to miss out on this. It's more random. I don't know specifically how it works, but I don't think it's anything too complicated. Free random. Next up, we have probably the most important thing in this event. So, if you clear stages, for example, I'm going to try and make this as simple as I can for new players, or anyone who might not understand. If you clear a stage and you don't lose a life, you will get 1 Arknight. So that's for clearing the story stages in the event. There will also be X stages in the event which will unlock over time, and once they unlock, you will get 1 Arknight for not losing any lives for clearing them. Now, you will also be able to do challenge mode stages in the X stages, which I'll kind of go over in a little bit, but basically, if you do all the content that is available, you will be able to get 41 Arknight. In general, that's a very, very good amount. That's a very, very good amount. It depends what you want to spend it on, but it is very, very valuable. You want to make sure you're clearing all the stages. It doesn't matter if you don't get all 41, you just want to make sure to get as much as you can get with your squad. Now, last thing also in the event is you can get free headhunting permits. So, in general, this is pretty good. You just have to grind the stages in the event, and you will get these points at the top in the clear amount, as you can see just next to the Arknight. You can use these for headhunting permits and all these resources. Obviously, you want to get the pulls, but that's something worth mentioning as well. Now, moving into the actual ways you can get a random and Arknight in this game, if you aren't familiar. So, first of all, I'm going to mention this. This is pretty worthless, but in the daily login, after 17 days, you can get a headhunting permit. There's also the monthly card, which you have to pay for. It's very, very good value if you're a new player or someone who hasn't bought it. It's pretty good value. It's not expensive, but you don't have to get it. It doesn't really matter, honestly. Now, next thing we have is the daily and weekly missions. So, you will get 100 for doing daily missions for a random, and you will get 500 for weekly. Now, in general, pretty good. You will get 700 in dailies for a week and 500 weekly. So, you want to make sure you're doing these. In general, doing your dailies and weeklies is pretty important anyway. You should do them no matter what. Now, moving into the more obvious stuff. So, I always say this to players, but make sure you're doing story. No matter what point in the game you are, try and clear the stages. If you can't clear them, then don't worry about it. But doing story is very, very important. If I just quickly go over to this one. Basically, when you clear a stage in story that you've not cleared and you don't lose any lives, you will have 3 of these like blue symbols. Basically, you will get Originite for clearing it once without losing any lives. And then you can also sometimes clear some stages in challenge mode. These will be a bit more difficult because you have a condition, but if you clear it, you will get another Originite. So in most cases, it's 2 Originite per stage. Some like tutorials and some stages don't have this, but it is very, very worth doing this. Always do story no matter what point in the game you are, unless you're really hard stuck on it. And that's a very, very good way of getting Originite. Next up is intermezzi and side story. These are basically past events. If I just hop over to one I've already kind of done, if we go over to No Light, basically it works the same like story. You will be able to clear these stages, get Originite per one. The normal side story and intermezzi stages don't give you a challenge mode. If you go over to X stages and you clear these will also give you a challenge mode. So in X mode or X stages, you'll be able to get 2 Originite per stage. So definitely will make sure you're doing them. There's also stuff like this. Some of these also do give you Originite, as you can see here. Pretty nice in general, very, very worth doing. It's pretty much the same like story. You want to make sure you're doing this. Now, next up, what I want to talk about is, where is it? Annihilation. Right, Annihilation is the best way of getting a random overall, in my opinion, apart from like the weekly missions and dailies. If you hop over here, if you don't really understand this, there are easier ones to do, but basically, if I hop over to, for example, Churn Bug, which I've complete, you can first of all click collect, which, as you can see here, I've claimed all my rewards, but if I hop over one, I've not collected all of them. Basically, you can get a random from this, you can get certificates, you can get different items, but most importantly, you can get a random. What you want to do is you want to try and complete all of these and kill 400 enemies. If you don't kill 400 enemies, you will get the reward for the amount you've killed. So for example, 305, I've only done 305, so I got the 300 rewards and below. In general, you want to make sure you're doing these. Once you've actually done these, for example, I've like max cleared Churn Bug. What you can do is click auto deploy, and then you can just do this until below me, as you can see, weekly, oh, did not mean to click that, weekly random reward. You want to try and get this higher. So basically, each time you do a stage like this, you will get weekly random, and it will add up here. Once you reach the max, you can't get any more. That is the basics in that. Now, talking about more of the kind of niche stuff, I'm going to talk about very quick. Some of these supply stages, some people might have missed out some stages. If you're wondering what I mean, I actually didn't do like Resource SK5 a little while back, but you can get Originite for doing these. If you missed out on these, you might have even like not done Aerial Threat, for example. I know some people might miss it, or Tough Siege. You want to make sure you're getting all the Originite you can. That is one way of getting it. It's kind of niche, but for some people it might be helpful. Another way of getting a random, which is quite interesting, if I hop over to Mountain, once you, I believe, elite to specific 6 stars, you can hop over to the top here, and then click this bottom right thing. It usually gives you a notification, I believe. If you click this, you can do a paradox simulation, which will give you 200 random. In general, pretty helpful to do, because you might have these stacked up, you don't even know. It could give you some random, and at the end of the day, we can't really complain. And I think that leaves me with only one place to go for a random. I'm gonna just preface here, this method is bad, don't do it. I will never do it because, first of all, I actually didn't know it existed for a long time, but don't do this. You can make a random in the actual factories and sell them. For example, if I go here, you can make these Originium shards. And once you do this, you can create these and then sell them in your trading posts, which some people might want to do. For me personally, I just wouldn't do that. It's a waste. It just is. Just don't do it. If you want to do it, then go for it. I've actually got it currently locked because I've neglected my base. But we don't talk about that on this channel because we've got a little secret going on, you know? It's fine. Base is fine. Anyway. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please drop us a like. It means the world. If you also want more info or like you want to ask me any questions, go to my Discord. I guess I can help some people if you want to like some sort of support. I'm not like the best player at Arknights in general. I know what I'm doing, but actual gameplay wise, like in battle, it's a little bit worse. But anyway, thank you for watching. I will see you next one, and adios.